pom-pom, the fat.
Some hairy spider.
Yeah, cunt. You have to see that?
Yeah. Lockdown. Yeah. Money spender.
I guess I use the word pussy most.
There's a mystery about the vagina. So definitely there is power in the vagina.
Your femininity, have you ever used it to get anything you want?
Yes. Yes.
I meet a female that give me that work yet. Okay? Nah, here done connected already.
She never control you.
Nah. I don't allow no woman to get that kind of power over me, boy. That'd be too dread. Believe it, because I see brothers fall in that and it's like, whoa.
Yeah. Get yourself right.
You understand what I'm saying?
They do. And they use it effectively too.
And how is this evident?
By the things that women would do, and they use sex as a means of reward and a means of punishment also. Denial of sex, denying a person sex or denying access to the vagina is a means of punishment, and most men know about that. If you're married, you'll know that if, your wife will deny you from time to time, or as a means of reward. If you do something good, you expect that you're going to get sex tonight.
Women can strongly manipulate a man with their vagina. You could get anything you want basically. Once you hold that back or you promise it to a man, you could basically hold it and control a man.
That has beaten all the strong men in the world, and I is one of the strong ones. And plenty time in my life that weak me, but I never give up, and I'll never let them know it weak me.
Yes, there is power in the vagina. There are certain levels of which a woman can use that power, and it's all up to her. Pretty much it goes like a man hasn't done what a woman has not allowed him to do.
Human beings use all their resources in order to be in control of their lives. To say that women use their vaginas to control men is to assume that controlling men is their ultimate aim. It might be that they engage in transactional sex to survive, or to escape violence from one man by forming a relationship with the other, or to be able to support their children, or to simply feel good about themselves. So it's worth it to not reduce an understanding of how women relate to their genitalia to basically how men experience it, right? Because so many more things are going on in that moment. And also, you don't want to apply some kind of middle-class morality that says that women should be having sex for free. I mean, traditionally, marriage was like prostitution. You traded support. If women, middle-class women, didn't work, it was because a man was paying for them to survive, right, in exchange for sex, which is what marriage is. And that is why there was no law against rape within marriage, because your body was seen to be your husband's because he had bought it. And now you had his name, so now everything was his. In a different age where women can support themselves, and also where women can use their bodies in ways that they may not have been allowed to in the past, I think we shouldn't be too judgmental. I don't see why someone should feel on morally high ground because they're having sex for free, versus somebody who is surviving because their body is part of how they labor.
Yeah, it has power, I know that. But would I use it for my benefit? No.
Nice shit.
That's your opinion.
But what I am saying, daily you are seeing some decision being made, even at all levels, and I give you
Yes,
thing with
I understand what you're saying.
are they, right? People make choices and influence decisions based on who they are. Being a female, they use their body and the vagina to get things done. Every day you see it. Alright? I'm not going to pretend that it doesn't happen.
Throughout history, we have always suppressed women and their sexuality. It has been done in every culture. If you look at, although the depiction that you'll find in the various cultures, for example, East Indian culture, Chinese culture, African culture, they will show the power of the vagina. You'll actually see depiction of worship of the vagina. If you look at the sexual positions and whatnot, carvings from ancient times, from way back in the caveman days or whatever time, you'll see that there's an understanding that the sexuality of a woman or the femininity of a woman or the vagina of a woman, there's power in it. But because the woman has so much of power, I think that's one of the reasons that they have been suppressed, because they realize that the woman has a lot of power if they utilize it properly. So throughout the ages, and throughout various cultures, they have done their utmost to suppress women and give them a second-class sort of citizenship in whatever culture they're from.
Well, in Greco-Roman history, the vagina has been portrayed as something evil, something, in art around that time, something with teeth, something to be feared. And you could even see those sentiments amongst men today. And in those times, because women were considered to be subhuman or not real, to be a real man was to have sex with another man, and to have sex with a woman was only for procreation. And you see how all of those myths hold today, that women aren't supposed to have sex unless it's to have children, and that can only happen within the institution of marriage. So you see how all of those old constructions still exist today, even though we may not recognize them or may not understand the history behind them.
Man selling the soul. Man selling the soul for a woman that man beat up their own mother and father for put them in the pool.
Yeah,
That's no joke.
But
it's true.
After that is money, you know.
It's true. It's true.
That is number one, and then after
So
money.
which is one? This is number one.
This is number one.
What do you mean? All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time. But a man will take all the money and give it to go between a woman's legs.
That's right.
But he'll never take a woman just to leave the money aside. He'll take all the money, just to get between she legs. So which one first?
That is the two
When you done
posts.
now, you want to come and beg me for something.
Man,
I
give
say,
it life
brother,
for
I'm hungry. Yeah? Go home and beat your wife. Okay, you work all week.
Right.
You work all week. When you get his salary, what you do? You give some outside woman, take all the money outside, and go and beat anyone who washing the clothes and cooking the food. For what?
That's right.
Yeah? Not for she private part. Because you ain't staying by she. So it's a real power, okay? It's not a joke, but it's a real power. Oh, man did that, remember me and you did that, eh?
Yeah.
What the creator did that, you know? Because man itself, me, is better, I the provider and the maintainer, the woman. You understand? But the time will come when the signs that I'm coming for their judgment, I'll give up my rights to them.
In the first year class that I teach, we do a section on vaginas and also on the word cunt. Now the word cunt is seen to be an obscene word. It denotes something that is vulgar, stupid, dark, and incapable. You know, it's used as an insult, right? Primarily by men against other men and women. But the word cunt has an age-old root and is related to the word cuntipotens and also to the word cunning, which means wisdom or skill that comes from bodily knowledge, from experience. And so that meaning that was associated with women's bodies has, over the past 5 centuries or so, been completely turned around so that we associate women's bodies, and particularly women's genitals, with things that are dirty, not to be mentioned, things that cause disorder, chaos, and that are not associated with power, when in fact they are. Even in Hindu texts, you have the lingam and the yoni. The yoni is an ancient symbol for the vagina, and this symbol has been seen as one invested with sacred power, or what's called Shakti, for many thousands of years. So even though women's bodies are sites for them to express their power, we also always have to be cognizant of the fact that they're expressing this power in a culture, particularly in our culture, where many meanings work against a positive and powerful association.
Women are judged by their virtuousness, and men are judged by their prowess and by their sexual prowess and virility. It's because even if you look at legislation now, like abortion legislation, it's a bigger picture. Women don't even have the rights of their own sexual reproductive organs. And this all has to do with women not being real people, not being able to control, not being able to have the mental capacity to make their own decisions, not being able to control their own bodies or what they produce, not even being able to control if they want to have children or not, when it should be the responsibility and the choice of the woman.
Yes, I think that men use vagina to dominate women, as well as women use vagina against men. So it's a kind of give and take. But women are suppressed because of their vagina. Yes.
If you're seeing holy pussy, pussy running. Holy pussy cat.
Women are more open towards their sexuality now than in the past. And the reason again is because of technology and because of exposure and because of the type of movies that you have now and the shows. If you look at a sitcom now, it's not uncommon to find a gay couple or a lesbian couple. It's not uncommon to see two women making out in a TV show. It's common now. Long ago that was not common. So women has realized that they have a certain amount of power. Now you had what you call the liberation of women some time ago in the 60s, women's liberation. And that has empowered some women. But they have taken it another step. They have taken it to the step that, hey, I can be educated now. I can have very good position I can have any job. I can be a president of a country or a prime minister. I can do anything. And by all rights, a woman can do anything, because the strength of a man comes from a woman. Whether men like that or not, because most successful men, they will tell you they have a good wife or somebody behind them who really does things in the background to keep them there. So we must understand that, and we must understand that to understand the sexuality of women now. In Trinidad, women are very open. Most of my clients who come here, men, for erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, or anything associated with anything sexual, they're sent by women. Their wives will tell them, go and get help. You're not satisfying me. I need you to last longer. I need you to be a better lover. Women will listen to the radio program and they'll say, don't worry, my husband right here listening, you're afraid to call.
We have generally a wide cross-section of women in terms of age group. Start from 18. We have had 80-year-old customers. Really? Yes. In terms of race, we have them all. All right, we have both straight women, we have gay women, we have bisexual women, we have women who just want to see what's out there, what they can do to enhance their sex lives. So it's quite interesting because we meet, as I say, a wide cross-section of women out here. And the younger women, you find a lot of single women would come in because they just want to see what's out there, how they can do something to spice up their relationship with their boyfriends, because it's new out here. Young couples are very adventurous, and they would come in and they would try almost anything. Then you would find that there are single young women who probably just don't have a guy in their life or partner, and they just want something to actually satisfy them until they're ready to date or they met somebody else.
So you get that feeling that women are more empowered now to talk about their sexuality. They're more empowered now to do things concerning their own sexuality. Look at the way women dress and look at the way women carry about themselves. I'm not talking about the vulgarity of it. I'm just talking about the self-confidence that they have gained. And they have gained a lot of self-confidence over the last 10, 15 years.
I don't know, I think that the average woman also has to deal with that push and pull crisis of either being empowered by her pussy or disempowered by it. Because even if a woman has multiple sex partners and she thinks that's empowering, she still has to deal with the sanctions of wider society. Whether it be her parents, peers, other men, especially other men.
Punani pum pum.
Box.
When I think of punani, I just think of it being such a smutty word.
Is that too much on names?
We have vagina, we have cat, we have pussy, we have Ting, we have Mary, we have Sally, we have Susie, we have all kind of thing that. We have people just be integrating animal, cat, tiger, you understand? We are real thing else.
It's always an interesting exercise to ask people what the names are for women's body parts, especially in the Caribbean, because they can come up with a long list of words, you know, and a lot of those come in our own music, like they're pretty explicit, whether it's punani or, you know, in Indian culture, the joke about Nani and Draupadi's famous song, Lick Down Manani, and those sorts of things. When you get a list of words like that, what you often see is that the vagina is understood largely from the point of view of men's desire, right? In other words, either it exists as a medicalized part of the body, or it exists as an eroticized part of the body, but there are so few words that are words that women can claim. The interesting thing about a list of words like that, though, is overall it highlights to us that women's bodies are currency for public debate and discussion. In other words, women's bodies figure prominently in how people talk to each other, how people describe things, that there are so fewer words for men's genitalia, and also the words associated with men's genitalia are associated with power, like, you know, gun, right, shooting bullets, rifle, you know, and the whole language around sexuality as the wicked Islam and as daggering and as all of that. I mean, that kind of power is not invested in the words that have been applied to women's vaginas.
Pussy.
As a pussy man, yeah, with any vibes, yeah.
How do I feel about that word? As a feminist. I don't know. I haven't really considered that, but you forced me to now, and it's important to interrogate my own use of the word pussy. But looking at it in a gendered way, I think pussy would be attached to a cat, which is seen as a feminine animal, even though they are obviously male and female cats, but it is a feminine reference. And in fact, I would prefer, and I'm glad that I used the word pussy over a word like cunt, which, as I had mentioned before, has been manipulated to mean something derogatory when it was actually originally meant for a goddess.
Vagin, the fluff.
The box.
The word vagina, most children or most young person will not know vagina. They will know the C word at the beginning. That's the word they will know. Because they will hear that from other school children. That's why you get your sex education in school. And you get it not from the classroom, but you get it from outside. The children who's talking, or the guys who are hanging out at the corner and they're talking. That's where you get your sex education. Or one girl talking to another girl. So you get the raw words. But you know you can't go home and say, Mommy, I hear about a cunt. And you use that word, it's like, what?
Cunt, pussy, you know, lickety split.
Because you want to talk in code. You're talking about something that is supposed to be sacred. You're talking about something that is supposed to be taboo. You're talking about something that is supposed to be placed in the background. You know, don't talk about vagina and penis. You're crazy.
You got so many names on this vagina. You got Pinky, you got Pussy, you got Cat, you got Susie, Rat, you got Susie.
That is the most powerful thing in the world.
It's the sweetest thing you have in this world. Pussy is the sweetest thing you got in this world.
Pussy whips. Yeah, right. That's when a woman get a good workout, I can think, and that's my interpretation. Pussy whip, I never heard that before.
Never heard that, so I don't know what it's
Well, I hear that talk already, but I never really understood the term. But I think that's when you when somebody like a girl or something, and he strip it towards her, and she just have him doing all kind of thing. I think that when it's called pussy whip.
Yes. Honest to God, yes. As man, I let you know. But try, mother. At a certain point in time, I could not do without she. Yeah, I really could not do without she. At a certain point in time. right? And I was hooked.
I mean, amongst fellas, it's shown as a sign of weakness in a male figure. Right?
Yeah.
Where you have usually the male figure is supposed to be the head of the household. However, you have a reverse, and you find that the female figure is more dominant. I'm not being sexist or anything like that, right? But traditionally, man has his role in our family. He's supposed to be the one to put his foot down, the leader, right? Whatever the case is, right? And, well, I mean, I guess with empowerment and whatever the case is, you find that pussy whipped is where
she can get him man to do anything. In my aspect is he doing anything. She said jump.
He doing it.
He doing it. He's saying how high.
But the long and short is the reason behind this is because of the vagina. You understand? So his motivation to do stuff is because of this. So, I mean, it's like she will hold it a ransom against him. You know, so it's like, so you're not going to do this, all right?
All right.
Nothing for you. You know what I mean? So them sing that song, right? Nothing. You're getting nothing tonight. You know what I mean? And so all those things.
What they say in the show, you put the pussy on a pedestal.
You put the pussy on a pedestal, you know what I mean? And you put it up there and that.
Up there, you worship it.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, master. You know what I mean? I was in love at a point in time.
You're not asking
you say love. No, that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
And I got my heart broken, right? At that point in time, you could probably say I was kind of pussy whipped, you know what I mean? I have done almost anything, you know what I mean? Balloons. You know what I mean? Right?
It has come at youth sometime,
yeah, you know what I mean? Age,
when you're young
brings experience and age, you know, brings reason.
At first time, you know, woo, excited. Yeah, I was.
When you get this feeling, this warmth, you know what I mean?
The warm, the moist, the
It was welcoming, yes.
It was welcoming.
It was still calling him.
But it depends on the girl too. The girl had to be experienced to know, well, all right then, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use this as an advantage, as you know.
But again, I say it might come with experience as well. If you're not accustomed, familiarity breeds content, right? If you're not accustomed with something as your first time tasting something, come like when you're small and you get KFC. You know what I mean? You be even to you could get KFC, whatever the case is. But after a while, you come to university now and all you're eating is KFC every day.
You get fed up.
You're fed up, you know what I mean? Right? So, as I say, it's what pedestal you put it on, what value you put on it. Right?
That's right.
It's
Well, there's a theory when they say, you know, for a woman to hook she man, she cook a hot pot of rice and tip over it and like run like sweat run in the rice.
Nastiness.
That's
bullshit.
That's a long time.
Nonsense for money to do.
So, sweat rice, you just get hooked.
Because without it, man ain't gonna be able to live because it has some man who don't want no man, and if they didn't have a vagina, what they would do, how they was gonna live. I'm sure they don't have to jock for the rest of their life. So I think for some people or some girls, the vagina, that's how the man lock, right? Some man just get hooked over the vagina, and they just do anything the girls say to do.
Really is power, it really has power. Yeah. You might say otherwise. No. It's really it is the state of mind, but you would say elsewhere, but it really does have power. Yeah, it has power. From ever since, yes, I would always, from since then, becoming Adam and Eve. Come think about it. From then.
Was the boss.
It started from that time. Adam
One
and
man
Eve,
with
so.
about 6 wives.
Yes, it has its power. Yes, it has its power.
This is power to you know, magic stick.
Depends. No, it has power, but not as much
Magic
power
stick.
as vagina has.
Okay, so what's the next best thing after?
After a pom pom?
Yeah.
Well, free food. You say, free meal.
The truth for me, the power of vagina has a lot of power. Because to tell you the truth, it causes men to drink.
And
It
to
causes
do all
men,
kind of different
it
things
causes
in
men
life.
to do things they don't want to do.
Kill
It
too.
even causes men to kill for that vagina. That little piece of ugly flesh there, it is sweet, it is satisfying for all men. And men can kill for it. So all you keep the power of vagina alive.